Hi, and welcome to the Indie Author Insider Podcast. My name is Candace. I'm your host today. And today we are for the first time ever, with a narrator. Sara, thank you so much for joining us today. I sincerely appreciate you taking your time to come on here and give us all the tea and all the secrets in the narration world. But yeah, so go ahead and get us started and tell us all about yourself.
Oh gosh, thank you so much for having me. I have been narrating for 3 years now,
Oh, wow.
and I don't know, I sort of fell into it because I was at a point where I said I need to do something for myself.
Yeah.
And so this just sort of presented itself to me, and I've been off and running. I focus on indie authors primarily and on romance, and the
Oh.
various subgenres in romance. So those are the majority of the titles that I do.
Oh, I love that. So we actually met, it was through Threads, right?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Threads.
Oh my gosh, me too. It's like a love-hate relationship because it's like you find so much and then you have your negative naysayers sometimes.
Right?
But
I just block. I'm like, nope,
yep,
nope, nope.
keep going.
That's not my
Exactly.
algorithm. Thank you.
Mm-mm. But yeah, so we met on Threads and you were actually recording an ALC. Were you done recording that ALC or were you still in the process of recording for that ALC?
I had just finished recording it and was in the process of the production side of it. So I was doing all of the editing, mastering,
Oh, wow.
the sound engineer part. So
That is crazy. We do have some reader questions for you. And you mentioned
fantastic.
that you do romance. Now, I don't know if you
Hmm.
do spicy romance or not. Do you do spicy romance?
Oh, yeah. Most of my books are definitely adult content, spicy books.
Oh, even better. So perfect. So Monica wants to know, is it awkward to narrate the awkward scenes, aka the spicy scenes?
No, not for me, actually. I find it to be when I get into the booth, I'm just stepping into the character. So I just try to fully take on the emotion of it, the context of it, the feelings of everything, and really just put that character on. So whatever that character's feeling, doing, that's what I'm doing.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't really think about it as much as I just do it.
Okay.
So it's just part of the flow.
That
Um,
makes
and
sense.
that also is true for like any other kind of like emotional scene. Like, yeah, I'm just in it. This is me now.
Identifies as character. Is it
Hmm.
ever hard to tap into the character's personality?
Um, I think sometimes if I'm not familiar with like maybe where the character's coming from. And I mean, I do all of that in prep. So I try in prep to really get a feel for where the story's going, the vibe of it as a whole. And then if it's like a first of a series, ask the author, like, hey, where is this going for this person or that person? So I know how to gauge who they are. And so I think the only time that it might be difficult is if it's unclear where that character's heading, like maybe for the next book, to try to like
Oh,
gauge what to give them vocally as far as like attitude. Or you find out, oh, this one's a betrayal. Like, like how am I how am I putting that into context? But otherwise not really. It's just, okay, this is who I am now. Like, here we are.
that's
Let's roll.
fascinating. You get to mask in and out of different personalities all the time.
It's actually so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, who am I going to be today? Okay, cool. I'm here. Let's go.
I love it. So what does the process typically look like for you? Because I'm curious about this in the sense of, yes, you record the book and you go through the editing and stuff, but what's that beginning process look like? Like, how do you find these books to narrate?
There's a couple different ways. At the moment, I have like a handful of authors that I've been working with for about 3 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we've developed such a good relationship that it's like, oh, hey, I have another book coming. Sweet, send it my way. Like I won't say it's assumed because that's presumptuous,
Right.
but it's like, I love working with you. You love working with me. Like, yeah, let's do your next book. When do you want to schedule it? There's that. And then I've had a few people contact me through my author interest form. and
Okay.
say, hey, can I get more information? Are you available? A lot of it, honestly, though, boils down to relationships. I've gotten really involved in the indie author community. I run a book club with my friend. We have an ARC podcast for it. Like, we are in and out of the author community a lot. She's a PA and does editing. And so that's kind of how it's just, they're like, hey, your voice would be perfect. Are you free?
Yeah.
Yeah, next year. Like, it just, it kind of depends. I'm a little bit booked out, but it's always worth, honestly, it's always worth contacting a narrator if you're interested.
Mm.
If you think, I really think they could do this justice, send us an email.
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose. The worst you could say is, no, I'm not
Right.
free, or, hey, next year, or, whatever.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good problem to have, being booked out.
Yeah, it really is. But
How
I
long?
also am like, I want all of the books.
That's exactly how it feels arc reading, because you're like, oh, I want you. I want you. Oh, go ahead. Come
Hmm.
on over. I want you as well.
I got time. Let me maneuver my schedule.
Exactly. How long is it typically on average? Because I know that they obviously will differ between like the page lengths and stuff, but on average, how long do you think it takes from start to finish to actually record and narrate a book?
The recording side of it. So I like to say for myself, because as you grow in the business and either you contract out your engineering or you get better at doing your engineering or better at your narrating, we all grow. It takes me, if like say a book is 10 hours long, like for runtime, triple it is about how long it took me to record it, produce it, edit it, get it ready, and put it out there.
Oh, wow.
It's usually and sometimes longer. It depends. Like I could knock out a 10-minute chapter pretty quickly. Um, and even with editing, like maybe as a whole recording and editing, that would take like an hour. But if it's like a 45-minute chapter, that's gonna take me a hot minute. Like,
Yeah.
so what we do is we divide the number of words in a book. So like if it's a, 160,000 word book, you divide it
Hmm.
by 9,300 because that's the average rate of speaking for
Oh,
audiobooks. And then
okay.
that'll give you an approximate runtime. So that's kind of how we, gauge how to schedule our time is, okay,
Oh,
how many hours is this going to take us?
that's
How long
fascinating.
is your book? Because it's not, because pages is so subjective depending on the medium and the
True.
font size or everything. So I need word count. How many words do I have to speak? Um, and then
Oh,
it just
wow.
kind of goes from there. Mhm.
I never thought about that ever. I would have thought it would have been
Yeah,
page count.
yeah, no, it's word count. So that's our formula. Just to kind of give everyone a ballpark. Like, and like for authors who are like, oh, I want to get an audiobook. I don't, because we all have like an hourly rate, and different options. And so the hourly rate is based on runtime. So if you're trying to budget, how much is it going to cost me to get my book done? Divide your word count by 9,300, and that'll give you something to work off of.
Wow. That's actually really good advice. Okay, so Elizabeth would like to know, do you prefer to narrate alone or with others?
So I will say 90% of all my books are solo narration.
Okay.
Um, I'm not, uh, my first duet book came out last month, This Witch Is Not Wicked by T. Harlow. That was a
Ooh.
lot of fun. And it was narrated in duet, but we didn't narrate it like together. Like he did his lines, his chapters, I did mine, and then I put them all together. So I don't really have opportunity to narrate like in person together. I mean, I
Mm.
suppose we could like TikTok live it or whatever,
That's true.
but that's not really my vibe. Like I
Yeah.
know so many narrators and I applaud them. I applaud them are out there live narrating on the socials and it takes me out of my character.
Yeah.
Like there's something self-conscious about it knowing someone's watching you that keeps me from really like fully committing. So I
That makes
don't do
sense.
it. So yeah, no, I narrate alone. all
Yeah,
the
that
time.
makes sense. That makes perfect sense because unlike you, I do see the narrators on TikTok Live. I don't really know
Mhm.
much about Instagram Live or Facebook Live, but on TikTok Live for sure.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's the very first thing I think of. I'm like, how in the world are you staying in character? Because I would be over here reading everyone's comments and I would be so, off the wall. I don't think I could stay in that character. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like I would get distracted. And I don't want to be watched. Like I think
yeah,
that's the beauty for me. I did musical theater in high school and in college, and I did performing opera and that kind of stuff. Like I've trained in all of that, but I prefer acting alone. Like let
yeah,
me just be in my booth. Nobody's paying attention. I can look and be however I need to and
exactly.
be my part. So, yeah.
Yeah. Is your booth in your home or do you have to rent a space for it?
Oh gosh, this would not be sustainable if I had to rent it at all. So no, I converted my master closet and it is now an audio booth.
I love that. That's
So I've
amazing.
got we had to prep all the walls and the floor and put the stuff up. You
Oh
can
yeah.
see. I don't know if you can see it very well because it's so dark, but like there's my phone, my mic.
Yeah, I will say you can tell with the audio portion of it because, talking to people on the podcast, there's always a little bit of like, not really an echo, but a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
more
like
of
that
it.
feeling you're in a box.
Yeah, but like with you, it's very, I don't know how to describe the difference. It's just you can tell that
Yeah.
you're very soundproofed.
Yeah, I've gotta get it as good as possible so I don't have to edit all the noise out.
Yeah, I never would have thought about the floor though. I knew the
Uh-huh.
walls, but I did not think
Uh-huh.
about the floor.
Yeah, you don't want a hard floor at all. You don't want anything that can acoustically bounce around. So, like you have to put bass traps in the corners and all kinds of
Oh,
stuff just to
fascinating.
catch. Yeah, some stuff resonates differently and so like you don't even want perfectly square necessarily
Hmm.
because of the way sound moves. Like my booth it's like pentagon shaped.
Oh, wow. That's cool,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it fits like in the corner, but
Yeah,
it just
things you
depends.
wouldn't think about. I mean, I definitely would
No.
not. My room is very well. I technically, if you want to include the little caveats, it's a rectangle, but then it also has like a cutout for the window where there could be like a window
Uh-huh.
bench or bench window seat, and then there's a cutout for like a little hallway to the door. So technically, it
Right.
is, but the wall space you wouldn't think about that because we've thought about soundproofing, and I'm like, that's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, depending on how big your space is too. Like that would
Yeah.
be you could always put like sound blankets and hang them like on the sides of where you are and that would help. And like in the
Oh.
front to help direct some of the sound and block out some of your like if you have like road noise, like I can't record during the daytime at all. I
Oh.
record at night only.
Oh wow.
Because a highway construction project started in my area a year ago
Uh
and
huh.
they took a corner not too far from my house and made that corner like it was like a vacant lot and they turned it into a construction vehicle parking lot. And so all day long,
Oh
it's
my
just
gosh.
heavy trucks going by my house. I can't edit that out. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. Like there's no way. So I said, "Oh,
Ugh.
so I guess I record at night now." So yeah, now all my booth time is after 8 p.m.
Is that difficult for you to do? Are you a night owl or an
I
early
mean,
bird?
it's difficult with kids, but I mean, we've adjusted our sleeping schedule to make it work.
That's fair. I would hate that.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm used to it at this
Yeah.
point. I don't know if I could it would be interesting to go back to daytime recording, but
Yeah.
this way nobody has to like be quiet because
True.
they're already, being quiet and I have to turn off like my air conditioner in the summer and I have to turn the heater off in the winter because you can hear it. The vents are loud. So
Yeah.
no soundproofing is getting that out. I would have to I mean, not in my booth. There are some that are like perfectly, but
Yeah.
mine is not. And so you will see, I'm sure you've seen it in the summer, like all the narrators that are like dying, sweating in their booths.
Didn't
That's
think of
real.
that.
It's hot. It's hot. We have to, and then in the winter, it's like, how many layers can I put on, but they don't make too much noise?
Yeah.
Like, I don't wear jewelry when I narrate. I keep my hair back so it doesn't make noise in my mic, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like all
Little
those funny
nuances.
things you don't think about until until you hear it. And then you're like, oh, so that's what that sounds like. Like my
Oh,
jeans rubbed, like
yeah.
you can hear it.
Never would have thought about that ever.
And
That's
no one wants that
fascinating.
in their audiobook. You don't want to
Yeah,
hear
no.
that. Yeah.
And I assume there wasn't any sort of like, hey, here's your narration guide, beginner's guide. Make sure that you have no sound to include putting your hair up. Like this has to be trial and error with some of it, right?
Well, it's things if it depends on how you get started or who you connect with. If you take classes or mentor or whatever, or you just sort of grind it out on your own, which is kind of how I did it. But you learn pretty fast when you're doing auditions. Like I started out just auditioning for everything I could find. Um, this was before the this was before the market got flooded with AI books for auditions. So
Yeah.
it's gotten a lot harder for a lot of narrators to filter through. Like, what is all this? I'm not auditioning for that. That's crazy. So, but yeah, in auditions is when you're making them and you're producing them and making sure everything sounds good is when you start hearing like, oh, oh, I need to fix that. Oh, hey, my mouth is clicky today. Or, oh, my sinuses, I didn't know my sinuses clicked. My sinuses would click on certain letters all the time. Well, you don't hear it when
Oh,
you're just talking, but I would hear it in my mic and I'm like, oh my God.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that was a thing.
I started taking allergy pills that fixed it. I was like, oh, so maybe I did have mild allergies and I just needed.
Oh my gosh. That's fat.
Yeah.
You're like literally blowing my mind right now. I'm like, wait, what? The fact that
Yeah.
our microphone can pick that up is crazy.
Yeah, it will pick up your sinuses clicking. It's ridiculous.
Oh
I
my
had a
gosh.
narrator friend tell me about the allergy meds because I was like, oh, it's like I can't get over this last bit of, this. She's like, oh, try an allergy med. I was like, oh, you're brilliant. Grabbed my
Yeah.
husband's and went, oh, this is so much better. Oh my God. Hey, the clicking is gone. Hey, who knew? Because
No,
I was
no, no,
just
really.
editing them out. I was just pulling them
Yeah.
out when I was doing what a time consuming thing. So now they don't click.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. I edit like my boyfriend and I were talking because my boyfriend does all of the podcast editing and stuff like that for me because there's just no way I
Hmm.
can work full time and do PA stuff and everything else under the sun.
Absolutely.
Um
It's like 4 jobs.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So, but I film all my unboxings and recordings and things like that. And when it comes to the air conditioner or the fan, I'm so used to it that you don't think anything of it, but then you hear it in the recording on the recording back. But
Yep.
I can't imagine, one 3-minute video for me to film, edit, and post is like a 30-minute transaction
Yeah.
for me.
Hmm.
And it's like so crazy. I can't it literally blowing my mind. I'm like, that is so you don't think about these things. Like you do, but you don't, you know?
Yeah.
The
I
depth.
spend more time sitting at my computer editing and producing and engineering the book than I do narrating it. It takes
Wow.
me longer to do the editing than it does the speaking bit. So, but what's so funny is I actually really love the production part of it. I love it. I mean, it's time consuming, but I love getting it and making it prettier. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or like going,
100%.
oh, that hit really well. Okay, cool. And, just getting to revisit the book. And so I'm actually kind of picky about the books I do because I have to live with it so much.
Oh,
By the
true.
time I'm done with a book, I've read it or listened to it or done it. I've at least gone through it 5 times. So I need to like it.
Yeah.
I need
A
to
lot.
really like it if I'm going to be with it that much. So,
Yeah.
but it's
That's true.
fun.
Yeah. So Brittany would like to know, have you ever narrated a character whose actions you fundamentally disagreed with? And if so, how did you handle that?
Um, I'm trying to think. I mean, I do a lot of morally gray people. I did the book Above by Bree Lamb. I did that audiobook and it is very morally black. The
Okay.
whole Everybody in the whole world is morally black. This is not morally gray. This is morally black. And while, like, yeah, I'm not gonna, and it's so good, by the way. Oh my God. It's dystopian fantasy. Listen, it's so
I'm
good.
gonna read it.
Ooh, highly recommend. But yeah, no, I don't agree with a lot of the things they did, but I'm not them. So
Right.
like, I'm just playing a part. And it's not like I'm advocating for these behaviors. It's fantasy, it's fiction. So
Right.
I don't have any kind of, I don't think I've run into anything in that regard where I'm like, oh, no, no, I can't do that. Now, I do have my own boundaries. Like, there's certain things I won't narrate that I disagree with, but I haven't run into any of them yet where
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said yes to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoops.
Do you think it's easier because you're able to really distinguish the fact that this is a fictional character and this is a fictional scene and a fictional situation?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Um, I think maybe if it was like a nonfiction autobiography, that might be a little bit that might be a little bit different, but
Right.
that's not what I do. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's predominantly I do fantasy. So, yeah, this isn't real. Like
Yeah. Well, I think
I should hope we all know that. Like,
well, I know that there's some arguments in the reader space about when certain things are written, basically being chastised in a sense for reading these
mm,
certain things. And my argument for that is I know morally what's right and what's wrong. I know I'm not going to go out there and start unaliving people on a whim because that's what
right.
sounds good. I
Because I
also
read it in a
understand,
book like that.
right?
What?
I also understand that there's not going to be a shifter that I automatically like fall in love with all of a
I mean,
sudden,
come on.
and then I'm
Dang
hooking up
it.
with six of their brothers and their four of their sisters at the same time, like I, in my mind, I'm like, I can absolutely take this and be like, oh, this is a fantasy world, a fiction, and like I can put it down and walk away from it. Whereas there's some people, and it's ever to each their own. Everyone's opinions are their own. But you have some people that are just very upset about like, how can you read that? Let's say morally gray, morally black, right?
Sure.
I don't care to read morally gray or morally black stuff because I know it's fiction, and I'm like, okay, I like it. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
Um, I also have a very high threshold for being uncomfortable. Um, you know,
Right.
after working in the jail for so many years and, actually helping to resuscitate children and, actually taking physical bullets
Right.
out of someone's thigh.
Oh man.
And I'm not a nurse. And you hear their stories and, these children, these real life children are actually like unalived because they're a part of a gang or things like that. Like, I think
Right.
my threshold for tolerance is a lot higher because of the
Right.
situations I've been in. But at the end
Right.
of the day, I'm like, guys, it's fiction. It's fake.
Yeah.
Don't read it if it really upsets you that
Well,
much.
that's my thing. Like if you know you don't like something, nobody is out here
Yeah.
forcing your eyeballs to read it. So mind your business. Like
Yeah.
everybody has the ability to choose for themselves and if that's something you like, then enjoy. Like I think that freedom of choice, freedom of being able to write what you want, read what you want is huge.
Yeah.
And to respect that everybody likes different things and your preferences aren't the basis for everybody else's morality. Like that's a wild because everybody's it's so subjective. It's
Yeah.
so subjective. So no, I don't I think I know that people have issues with certain topics and um there's a lot of discourse because of, adaptations and different things and I'm just like no one is making you do anything. So
Yeah.
this shouldn't actually be a problem.
Right.
You're an adult, don't read it,
Yeah.
you know? And if
Yep.
that's your parenting vibe, then that's cool. That's your, that's your values and your house. That's not doesn't have to be everybody else's.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There was that quote or the phrase, I should say, don't yuck someone's yum.
oh,
And
absolutely.
I was like, at first, I was like, what the heck does that even mean? First of all, I'm old as dirt these days. So trying to keep up with these new phrases is difficult. But the more I am, because I'm very fortunate that I do get to work with a lot of indie authors like you do.
Uh-huh.
And I don't put a cap or a threshold on what genres I will read because I like to explore new things.
That's
And
awesome.
so I have now went from being thriller, suspense, romance to thriller,
Mm.
suspense, romance, fantasy, and now I'm really liking historical fiction, and I'm also
Oh
starting
yeah.
to dabble in the sci-fi. Um, but there's so much that you learn in these different genres that you're exposed to in these different genres. And out of all of the books, I think I'm at 220-ish books read this year and or listened to. And there's
Nice.
only one book that I have read where I was like, oh, I think I actually might be a little uncomfortable. Um, maybe. And then it kind of got through the
Right.
chapter and I'm like, did that make me feel uncomfortable? Because that I did not expect that piece. And I think it's because it was a female and the assault, I'll put it that way, the assault that was happening to her was very graphic. And I'm
Mm.
used to like graphic assault scenes by no means. Like I'm used to that for sure. But the
Mm-hmm.
terminology that was used in the
Oh.
assault scene, I was like, um, basically it rhymes with commoditized.
Oh.
And that word was used a few times and I'm not used to seeing the S version of commoditized in books
Right.
a lot. And it was used heavily throughout the pages. So
Interesting.
for that one, I
Language
was
can
like,
really make a difference.
yeah, I'm like, I think if it was reworded a little bit differently and left that word out, which I don't know how you would leave that word out if that's what's happening to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I think that's about the only thing that made me uncomfortable. And for a second, I was like, do I DNF this? Because I don't know if I like this. And I finished it and it was good. That was only one part of the book, but that's where I really started to understand yuck, someone's yum, because I'm like, I'm sure someone would actually really like this. It's not for
Right.
me.
Right. And sometimes it's just a matter of sitting with it and being like, "Can I ride this out? Like, am I okay? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm okay." It's like I said, it's so subjective, and
Yeah.
I think there's so much to be found in a lot of these books that people get up in arms over. There's so much like room for exploring different kinds of themes and how do people handle things and what do we really mean by,
Yeah.
some of these situations. I think it's such a good opportunity for conversation and for growth and for looking at your own bias. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Books are meant for conversation. Um, even if they are, even if it makes you a little uncomfortable, like, okay,
Yeah.
so sit with that. Why are you uncomfortable? And then if it's if it's like triggering mental health uncomfortable, well, then God, yeah, put the book down.
Right. Yeah.
But if
I
it's
agree.
just something where you're like, oh, well, like that bothers my morals, well, maybe ask yourself why. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I come from a really like purity culture background, the way I was raised. And so it's been very interesting getting away from a lot of that and really enjoying all the different varieties of things you find in a lot of these books. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is actually a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can relate to that. Now, I grew up reading. My parents didn't care what I read. I don't even think they know that I read.
Mm.
Um, well, they had to because I was always asking for money for the Scholastic Book Fair. Always.
Oh, the book fair.
I'm telling you,
Yes.
it's like the smell. I miss that vibe so much.
Our city does an adult book fair every
Ugh,
September, and it's like so great.
my
There's
birthday's in
like a little
September.
independent there's a little independent bookstore here and they have like a big adult book fair and it's
Oh man.
huge and like
Yeah.
everybody meets afterwards at like the local bar. Like
See,
it's
oh,
so fun.
I was reading the Crow's Tales, I think is what it's called, the Caper series or something like that. And it's a middle school book that got sent to me from an indie author. And I it was something about the font, the spacing, and the chapter headers
Oh,
that brought me right back into that. Like, oh, I was like, oh my gosh, I miss
you
this
just
so much.
yep, you
Yes,
just open it and you're like, "Oh, it's a fresh book." Yes.
there. Okay,
It's
I
like
know
the
I'm not
ink or the
crazy.
paper or something. Yeah.
Yes, the Scholastic Book Fair, I'm telling you, it had a scent to it and it never changed. You
No, all
knew it
those
was this
books
classic
smelled the
pair.
same.
Oh my gosh.
100%.
It was
Like
fantastic. I
it's
miss
whatever
it.
ink and paper they use. Yeah.
If they had a candle like that, I'd burn it all the time. 100%.
You know what? We should find somebody. There's definitely bookish candle stuff. I bet
Oh,
somebody could make that happen.
oh my gosh. So I have the podcast room is our library. I would legitimately have that burning and or in a warmer or however it came all the time
Hmm.
just to be able to open that door and be like,
It's the book fair.
it's the book
Yep.
fair. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. Now we just moved to Kansas. So, I'm always looking for like new events but we live out in the
Oh,
middle of like
yeah.
nowhere. So it's
There's
like 30
actually
minutes.
there's some really good um I'll have to connect you. One of my author friends is in Kansas and she's always posting about different events and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. No, I would love that. So one of the readers also said, how did you get started and was it difficult to do so?
Okay, so this is a great question. I have been homeschooling for quite a long time now.
Oh, I love it.
And as part of that, yeah, it was a whole thing and my kids have some dyslexia and some learning differences and things. And so with the homeschooling, I found myself reading everything out loud. And so I'm like, okay, how do I keep this one particular child, how do I keep her engaged? Because some of this is dry. Like,
Yeah.
it just is. Some of the material is
Yeah.
dry. How do we keep this engaging? So that was my goal with reading to her. We're reading all these different history texts out loud. And um, at one point, it was for her curriculum was like a world history, world religions, mythology unit, and it was fascinating. And one of the books we had to read was An Ember in the Ashes by Saba. And I'm telling you, that book sparked something in our house because we read it together. She got the audiobook. My husband started listening to the audiobook. He's also
Wow.
dyslexic. And so four of my kids are dyslexic. And so audiobooks are sort of like our lifeline. And we started listening to all these young adult fantasy books as a family. And I thought, this would be so fun. Like, this would be so fun. I wonder how you do this. And so I would just casually, I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't on anything. I was just,
Yeah,
I had avoided socials as much as possible.
that's fair.
Because I was on a couple of the other ones and I found myself just angry all the time and it was not worth
Yep.
my sanity. And so
No.
I didn't know about Book World. And I had started looking and found it was like a random article that Natalie Naudus was interviewed for. She's a
Hmm.
fantastic narrator. And she was just kind of talking about how she got started. And I went, oh, wait, what? That's it? Like, go to ACX and make a profile and like watch their. Okay. So that's what I did. I went to ACX. It's Audible's platform for publishing audiobooks. And that's where you find auditions. That's where, if you're an author, you can put your book up there and post an audition and have narrators apply for it. It's very helpful. Um, there's lots of different options. And I just started watching their how-to videos. Like, oh, I just have to do this. Oh, this is how you edit it. This is how you produce it. This is the equipment you need. These are the rules. These are the levels. Taught myself how to do all of it. I was
Wow.
like, okay, let's do this. And so, um, and then it was like, okay, let's get a decent mic. Let's figure out how to make my space. And I started out with like not all of this. It was
Right.
it was like, how many quilts can I hang up? Like, it was very low budget, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, you really can. Um, got my noise floor handled, got my, you know, my mix, and then I just started auditioning. And I don't know, I think I auditioned a lot, which,
Yeah.
listen, that is what anybody who wants to get into this actually needs to know. If you're interested in voice acting work, be prepared to audition a lot, a lot, and be prepared to be told no. Like
Yeah.
this is acting, and acting is famous for rejection. So
Yep.
you have to know. I also tell people you have to know you want to do it. Like you have to commit to it. This is not the kind of job that you can half at. You really
Yeah.
can't because people are relying on you to bring their book to audio. Like
Yeah.
you have to be committed. So yeah, that's kind of how I did it because I thought more indie books need to be accessible. Like, how do we make this
Yeah.
happen? And that's kind of always
Absolutely.
been my focus has been because I started signing up for ARCs and I was like, oh my God,
Hmm.
this book is so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want my husband to read it. We read books together.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
but he does audiobooks because he's dyslexic and he's like, I don't have time. He's like, I'm not sitting down to read a book.
Yeah.
That is
That's
not
fair.
happening. But he listens while he's at work. And so I was like, I want to talk to you about this book. I want you to read. You would love this book.
Yeah.
It's not on audio. And so then it kind of became a, can we make that happen? How do we make that
Yeah.
happen? And
That's
so,
cool.
anyways, yeah. And then that's just, it snowballed. And now I started a production company. So,
Yeah. No, that's amazing. How did it feel when you had your very first one published and people started listening to it?
um, it was like an out of body experience.
Had to
Like,
be.
wait a minute. My name credits are up there. Like, are you kidding? Oh, people like it? What? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was very wild. It was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's real. Okay. Like we're really doing this. So,
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun.
That's
It's been a lot of fun.
I can only imagine. That sounds amazing. Now, you did say something earlier that I kind of want to touch on when it comes to like the auditioning portion of it,
Mhm.
because we know that AI is rampant in a lot of things, but I
Oh.
did never think about it in the narration space. So, with the books that you guys are auditioning for, is it difficult to tell right away which ones are AI, um, or how does
Um,
that work?
it's it's just hard. Um, sometimes you can tell because of the cover.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
and everybody has their different lines in the sand. So,
Right.
personally, if there's any AI used in any of the marketing, any of the promotion, any of the cover, and no, I will not do it. I don't want to be associated with that at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. They've gotten a lot better. With auditions, because you're only getting a portion of the script, right? You're just getting a piece. So what you then have to do is, okay, let me go look this book up on social media. Let me go check out this author. Oh, are
Oh.
they pumping out like, and it's hard because I do have some author friends who put out a lot of books. Like they're
Mhm.
rapid releasers and they put out a lot of books one after the other, and they're definitely not AI. They've always been that way. But a lot of the AI books, that's one of their tells is that, oh, hey, this author up out of nowhere just put out 20 books. Okay, well, probably that one I don't want to be associated with then.
Yeah.
But it's so tricky and it's such a witch hunt. And then and then on the author side of it, they're running into trouble where they're going to put up their book for audition and they're getting a bunch of AI narration virtual voice people
Oh.
auditioning. Like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, AI has been really actually the worst
Mm.
in the audiobook narration voice acting space because at one point, and they still like it's still something we battle. They're trying to use our voices, without consent. Like,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, or they rolled out they had rolled out a program with their virtual voice. Hey, do you want to use your voice as part of our virtual voice program? You can audition for more. No, this is
No.
my voice. I'm not giving
Yeah.
you my voice. That's crazy.
Right.
It's what? So you can put it in your database and then do whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Not a fan of
so
that.
so it's become really, really honestly a struggle for everybody on all sides of it
Yeah.
because they just keep trying, but we keep saying no, no, we don't want it, no, we don't want it, and the nice thing is I forget who it was, came out with the numbers. And while it feels like there's so much AI voice stuff coming out there, they're doing really badly. Like of the audiobooks that are purchased that are AI audiobooks, people are returning them. People don't want them. It's
Good.
only like it's some very minuscule less than a percent
Oh, wow.
amount. And so that was hopeful. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah, I
people
know that
don't
is.
actually want it. And you can tell, like, if you put one on, you're like,
Yep.
what is this uncanny valley act? Like, what am I listening to? This is ew, ew.
Yeah.
I would rather listen to like the Siri read it to me,
Oh,
in her
yeah.
like normal voice, not the new updated one,
Yeah. No.
the old one.
Yeah.
Give me that over, gosh, just give me the text reader. Like, I'm not.
Yes.
So thankfully, there's this one narrator, Samantha Norbury. She started Human Voices Only.
Hmm.
And so we do it. It's definitely once a year. I can't remember if we do it twice. I think we might do it twice. I feel really bad trying to promote something without accurate information, but you can look up the hashtag Human Voices Only.
Okay.
Um, and we're across all the different platforms, and it's just a bunch of narrators and authors collaborating together to say, no,
Hmm.
hey, we only want human voices and
Yeah.
human written books and human art in the book space. And
Yeah.
it's grown so much. Like
Good.
from just 2 years ago to now, I'm like, oh my God, look at all this involvement. Like this is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So I feel like people want it.
Yeah. For
So
sure. I think, you're definitely right when it comes to a lot of people don't want the AI in their space. I will say as a PA
no.
and as someone who does a lot of PR for authors, sometimes it's difficult for us to catch which authors use
Sure.
AI and which ones don't. I will
Mm-hmm.
say as a brand, it's embarrassing whenever your team comes to you, like our influencer team, and they're like, "Hey, I think this author is using AI." I'm like, "I just promoted this author and
Oh,
now
that's the worst.
and they are, like, I have to go through, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, because
Yeah.
on our application, there's, like, 2 different sections where it's like, we do not accept AI at all whatsoever, and
Mm-hmm.
then also, you have to acknowledge that, "No, I don't use AI anywhere in my book," and then
Yeah.
we get it, and I'm like,
You're like, okay, so you didn't read that properly. Oh, so you
yeah,
just hit okay anyway, but you lied. Okay.
that is the part that I struggle with when it comes to the
Yeah.
AI space because as a human being, I understand not having the financial aspect to go out and hire an expensive cover
Mm-hmm.
artist. And I understand not being able to hire an editor. But also as a consumer, what I also realize is if your book is not quite ready, if you're not able to financially produce even a pre-made cover, $100, okay, it might not be the prettiest thing, that it
Mm-hmm.
might not fit your book fully, but I would much rather, go buy a pre-made cover versus an AI cover. I'm not going to buy an AI
100%.
cover. Um,
Not if I can tell. No.
exactly. Yes. And it's a really uncomfortable conversation. I don't know if you've had to come across this,
Oh,
but it's such an uncomfortable conversation, especially when my PO box is on every single one of my platforms. Okay, it's there.
sure.
And the expectation is that I'll do an unboxing. Well, I've gotten several books that have been sent to me and I'm like, okay, now I have the morality issue of, okay, do I support
Right.
this author because they spent physical money to send me this book, and now do I have to have this conversation piece of, hey, thank you so much for sending me your book, however I can't do an unboxing, now I'm out, do you need me to reship this back to you, and now I'll pay for the shipping to go back to you, or I'm just going to go ahead and just leave this over here. um
Yeah.
it's an uncomfortable conversation to have with people.
No, it's so awkward. No.
Yeah.
I did have to ask one person. It was someone who had just sort of cold DM'd me, and I was like, I don't know you. I don't, so, that you have to go look and let me
Yep.
scour your stuff, for so many reasons,
Yeah.
does this fit my style? Like, is this something I
Mhm.
want to do? And I was like, question, do you use AI in this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And some of my, writing tools. Oh, okay. So, like, I can't, no.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
here's some other places you can find help. Like I'll direct you to wherever, but I can't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
yeah.
think like, the aspect is as an indie author advocate, and
Uh-huh.
supporter, you want to do everything you possibly can to support an author. And that's where
Sure.
it can kind of get uncomfortable where you're like rejecting somebody because of what they're doing. And it's
Well,
like,
this
I
is a good
want to support
opportunity
you,
for them to learn.
but
That's how I take it. I'm like, listen, no, like if you think, okay, I'm gonna cut corners and do it this way, well then no, like you're getting the consequences of your choices. And is that uncomfortable? Absolutely. But
yeah,
again, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna blindly support anyone. You know what I mean?
right.
Indie or
Yep.
not. Like
Yeah.
no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, it's not like there aren't resources. Like I know a few authors, like especially when finances are hard, you can make your own cover in Canva using their non-AI tools. Like
Yep.
that's absolutely feasible. Does it take longer? Yes.
Sure.
Can you use the free version and do it? Also, yes.
Yeah.
It's, there are options. If you're going to
Yeah.
also pay for an editor, you're going to pay for, like don't use the AI. Just
Yeah, I
don't.
think it's what's really frustrating from the business aspect of it and having the PA and the PR and then the shop and stuff like that is just like the author has a brand, we also have a brand. And when we
Yes.
associate ourselves with that kind of thing, then it becomes
That'll
brand
tank
damaging.
everybody.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like, I don't know if you've had this conversation, but I've definitely had this conversation where when I respectfully decline, I get hit with a very negative approach and a very negative attitude from the author.
Mm,
And
I have not
the
had that.
you can't call yourself an indie author advocate. Well, how do you figure I'm advocating and I'm supporting, but what I'm not supporting is that you're I don't typically respond on those pieces. I just let it go.
Yeah, no.
Um,
It's not worth it.
but in my head, I'm like, how do you figure? And then where did you find the audacity? Because whatever store that was at, I might pull up sometimes, but for the most part, I'm going
There's
to avoid it, you know?
there's definitely a lot of audacity involved in that space for sure
Yeah.
with the AI stuff. Like there's a level of like
Yeah.
no. No.
Yeah.
Thankfully I feel like I've made myself really clear on it with, you know, my my stance, my posts, etc. that I don't like I've only had one where
Hmm.
I've run into it and I just very graciously was like, yeah, I really I can't do that. And then that
Yeah.
was it. And then we're done. So
Ugh, I
it's
envy you.
it's not so much an inner well, see, I don't have to do all the like PR stuff. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean at this point and the nice part is I get to be selective.
Yeah.
I decided if I'm gonna start a new career, in this part of my life, I'm gonna do what I love and what makes me happy and what brings me
Yeah.
joy. And I'm gonna work with people who I get along with and I love their work. And I'm only going to do things I really like.
Yeah.
And that makes everything so much easier. Do I love this? Yes. Great. Do I love this? No. Okay, so no, then I don't do that.
Yeah.
And that it really takes a lot of the burden off. Do
It
I
does.
follow trends with posting and stuff? No, because I'm not good at it. So I post what I like,
Yep.
like, oh, this reel looks like it'll be cute. Let me make this, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm right
I
there with you.
just I do what I like. And then I don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah. The posting, like the social media aspect is so difficult because at first, when I first started my social media, in no way, shape, or form did I ever think that this was going to be where I would be, 7 months
Right?
later. And here we are. But for me, it's like, I think people get hung up on views and, shares and
Mm.
saves. And for me, I'm like, listen, I'm just proud that I showed up every day and posted something. Okay. I know it's very repetitive. I know there's a lot of book mail on there. So
I
I
love
will
it.
actually probably transition away from making individual book unboxings, and I'll
Mm.
probably start to do them as a group because they do take
Like a roundup.
so much time. That's what people don't understand. We get book mail every day. I mean, I have 4 that are sitting right here that I have to get recorded. Well, that is 20 minutes of just recording it by itself, of doing the
Oh yeah.
unboxings, then turning around and editing, let's say 15 minutes per one. That's another hour, 2 hours. So roughly 3 hours just to film unboxings and record them. That's 3 hours I could be doing other things. So it's so much
It's 3
time.
hours you could be reading. Gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And I do read. I listen to the very annoying, very disgusting automated reader adaptation from
Mhm.
like the Siri piece, because there's no
Yeah.
physical way I would be able to sit down and read a book anymore. I'm just too
No,
busy.
I have a friend who does that. She's like, if it doesn't have an audiobook, I use the like automated reader and have it
Yep.
read to me that way, especially if I'm low on time. She's like, now, depending on the book, then I will, like actually sit down and
Yeah.
physically do the whole thing. But she's an editor, so she's like, I'm busy editing. Like, I
Yeah.
can't
Exactly.
also like it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And I am very fortunate. Like, I kind of do this on purpose, I'm not gonna lie. But when I work for authors, I'm like, if you need a content pull, let me know. Because if I
Right.
have to do a content pull, I don't have a choice but to sit down and read the actual book. And
Yes,
I'm
you
like,
make it part of your work.
but I'm
Yes.
working. But I'm working.
Exactly. No, listen, exactly. Like, oh, is this a book that we're reading for book club? Then I'm going to sit and read it. Like,
Yep.
yes, because that's the only thing I will say about getting really busy is that my reading just because
Yeah.
time has gone down. And so my husband and I, like I said, we buddy read, but it's been so hard
Yeah.
because at the moment I want to say I have four books going for
Mm,
different things, and those aren't like just workbooks, like I
yeah.
also have the books I'm doing that I'm recording, um, which is that's a different like time box.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's like, you don't read with me anymore. I'm like, what do we do? So this summer, I know I was like, oh, dang it. I mean, he listens
Yeah.
to all my audiobooks. So we're
Oh.
still like sharing the same stuff. He's so great. He really is. He's so supportive. He's so good. And he loves romance. Like
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I married a man who loved romance more than I did. So,
That's a win-win right there.
yeah. His favorite movie was Serendipity. Like, hello.
Immediate yes. Just
He was
yes.
like, "This is my favorite movie." And I was like,
You're my favorite
what?
person
Because he
now.
doesn't listen, he doesn't give that off. Like, you would not
Yeah.
assume that just looking at him. And so, yeah, he's been great. He listens to all my books. And so this summer I was like, okay, there's this series I want to read. I read the prequel, which the prequel was published out of order. Like books
Oh,
one, two, three are out. Book four was, and they're published under a trad contract. And then book four was published indie for whatever reason. I think it's because the trad was like, no, we only contracted these. And the author was like, no, but
oh,
this book needs to come out. It's super important. I was like, okay, I can read. I hadn't read the other three books, but I was like, I'm going to read it's a prequel. Like,
yeah.
yes, let's do it. Oh
Give it
my
to
God.
me.
Hands down, such a good book. Oh, it was so good. So I said, okay, it's called Hell in the Heart by Piper CJ. Oh my,
I was like, what is it?
it's,
Let me see.
it's
Okay.
so good. Um, so I read that and I said, oh, I know. All of them are out on audio. I bought the paperbacks. Let's make that our summer buddy read.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. So he beat me. He's already finished book two. I'm got like 4 chapters left, and I'll be done with book two. But like I schedule it with my coffee in the morning now. I'm like, okay, I have to
Oh,
sit
I
down.
love it.
Let me
Yeah.
let me read this. He's gonna beat me, but let me read it. So I said, you have to wait for me to finish this before you start book three because you're gonna finish it before I do. But so while he's waiting, he's listening to my the audiobook that just released yesterday, Worth the Fall by Laura
Oh,
Beth. That was the
yeah.
ALC. So he's listening to that right now while he
Oh,
waits.
wow.
He's like, this is perfect. I love Laura Beth. I'm like, I know, I love her too. I love all her books. We've listened to all her books.
Yeah. Oh, I actually had a
So,
question about your ALC, not necessarily
oh
your
yeah.
ALC, but the ALC process, because after that was our very first ALC with the Indie Author Insider.
Oh,
And
that's so
I had,
cool.
yeah, we loved it. So I got a lot of good feedback on it. They were like, "Oh my gosh, an ALC." Well, let me preface that by saying we had a very unique erotica book come out. That was technically an ALC, but that one was only a very small population was A, interested and B, accepted. So this is our very first like
Broader
genre that a lot of people, more broad genre, but or book or however you want to word it. So the question was raised to me, and I was like, "Girl, I don't know," but they were like, "If when I'm listening to these ALCs, when I'm doing my review, what am I reviewing on? Am I reviewing the narrator or am I reviewing on the book?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure it's both, but let me ask. I have a
Oh,
podcast coming up."
yes. Yes. Okay. So you review the book like you would if you were reading the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Story, plot, characters, whatever, however you review a book, you review the book. And then as narrators, we love to hear that you love it. Just like authors. We love to
Yeah,
hear that you love it. So
absolutely.
yes, you can review the narration. Like for social posts and stuff, sometimes people will go like, like stars, peppers, and then headphones. So like I saw somebody review a book recently where she was like, I gave the book 2 stars, the spice was however many, but the headphones, it was like the narrators knocked it out of the park. They get a
Oh, wow.
5, but I didn't actually like the book. It's just
Oh, that's smart though.
it just depends. So yeah, you kind of do it separately, like, you know, yeah, if you enjoyed it, you like the narration, please, my God, let us know. We love to
Yeah.
know that you loved it. I will say with some caveats to that, especially if you're new to reviewing ALCs. If you don't like us and how we sound, don't tag us. Feel free to talk about it. My God, don't tell me. I don't
Right.
want to know.
Yeah.
If you think
Exactly.
my voice is annoying, don't tell me. That's my voice. What do you want me to do
Right.
about it? That's me. Don't listen
Exactly.
to like, please be kind.
Right.
If you have a book that you're reviewing that has more than one narrator and you're naming who the narrators are, please name all of them. A
Yeah.
lot of times only the male narrator will get credit. Like, oh, so and so, he did so great. I love his voice. He's so dreamy. And like, yeah, the female narrator was good.
Yeah.
What? Put
Right.
her name down. Either put her name down or don't name anybody. Like, name everybody. Their
Yeah.
names are listed in the credits. Like, put their name on there.
All or nothing.
So that's a big deal. And then what else? Oh, if you wish it was in a different format, keep that to yourself.
That's true.
It is what it is for a reason, whether it's a solo narration, a dual narration, or a duet. If you know you have a really strong preference, keep that in mind when you review if you're reviewing outside of your preference. So like if you know you love duet narration, and some people do, that's their only one they want to hear, and that's fine. My God, it's just like with reading. You are allowed your preference.
Yeah.
That's great.
Absolutely.
But if you know you're going to listen to a book that's not in your preferred format, don't judge it based on it
Right.
not being in that format,
Yeah.
That's all. I mean,
Yeah.
feel free to be surprised. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that was solo. Hey, yes, that's great, but
Yeah.
not, damn. Like,
Yeah. Right.
no,
Yep. I
no,
hate
thank
seeing
you.
those
That's not nice.
reviews.
So
Yeah.
just be nice. Be nice. Be
Yeah.
nice. Don't be
You can be
critical.
honest.
Be nice. You
You can
know?
be honest and be nice at the same time.
Yeah. And if you can't, well, maybe you should, think about that.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have your privileges revoked.
Well, and
100%.
just, it's like with anything. If you're going to review it, that's fine. I love review away. That's not my space. Reviews are not, I'm not going to look at them if I can help it because I don't need that in my head.
Right.
Just don't tag in
Yeah.
anything critical, And it's
Yeah.
like, cuz some people say don't tag in anything negative. Well, no. Don't tag in anything critical. Cuz sometimes people don't realize that being critical is also negative.
Yeah.
Well, what? I was just offering. No,
Yeah.
not in anything critical. Don't tag
That's
anybody if
true.
you're going to be critical. You can be critical. Don't tag us. That's all.
Yeah. That's a good point
So,
to
yeah.
make, though. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you kind of already touched a little bit on this, but our very last question that comes from the readers is, do you have any advice on how to get started for someone that's trying to get into the industry but doesn't know how?
Yes. Okay. So first, to make sure that you actually like it, and I heard this advice from a really like longtime narrator who's amazing. Um, get a book outside of your normal genre that you wouldn't
Ooh.
necessarily buy. Go buy it. Sit in your closet in an uncomfortable chair and read it out loud for
Mm.
like 2 to 4 hours at a time every day for a week. Read it. This was advice from Ray Porter. He's the narrator for Project Hail Mary.
Oh,
Yeah, he's fantastic and he gives great advice. But I saw this advice and I was like, oh my God, no, that's brilliant because you are going to spend your time sitting in a small space. It's going to be hot. You're going to get uncomfortable. And every time you make a mistake, you have to start over from like,
yeah.
say that paragraph back, right? I have to start over all the time. We're not perfect. We
Right.
start over. So
Yeah.
if you think, yeah, I want to do this, make yourself sit there and read a book out loud. And then every time you mess up, stop and redo that part over every day for a
Yeah.
week. And if at the end of the week you still think, yes, this is so appealing, then then I would suggest I think it's called narrators roadmap
Okay.
.com. They have a lot of like it's very helpful. There's a lot of information, but you can sort of start at the top and like, I want to take this route. Like, I want to go this way, or this is my
Oh,
goal. And it'll help you go through steps.
I love that.
And especially if you feel like maybe you need coaching or maybe you need acting classes or, whatever, everybody's different. That's a good resource and a good place to start. So that's
That's
what I would do.
fantastic.
Hmm.
You already lost me at sitting in an uncomfortable chair in a small room because I'm claustrophobic. So will not be me. And then reading out loud. I'm also dyslexic.
Mm,
And so that's another reason why I love to listen. I am very fortunate in the fact that I think because I've read so much in my life and I
yeah.
genuinely love to read that
Hmm.
my brain, like I will skim over words and the way I read it, it doesn't make sense, but my brain fixes it to make sense with the
Yeah.
context pieces, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me to be reading it out loud, because I mean, I had to stop reading the back blurbs because I just get so tongue tied. I literally have
Right.
a tongue tie. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
like, I can't do this anymore. So
I don't want to
narration will
read these
never be
out loud.
me.
I don't like it.
No,
Yeah. And
there's one video where I'm like, why do you guys have to make these names so hard to pronounce? And he's coming on the podcast soon. So
oh, yeah.
um
No, I feel you about pronunciations. We absolutely will send a list of how do I say, please,
yeah.
please tell me how to say all these names, especially in fantasy. How am I saying that word? And it's
Yes.
fine. Like, I love it, but I absolutely need to know
Yeah.
how do you, as the author, hear this word in your head?
Yep.
Please send me a voice message of yourself saying it. I don't want a pronunciation guide.
Mm,
I don't want to see how you envision that would look phonetically.
yeah.
Send me a
No.
voice message and say it out loud, please. Thanks.
Yeah. Like 4 times. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so I just keep it in voice notes.
Yep. Exactly. That's a great place to
That's how
have
we say
them.
these words.
Yep.
Yeah, that little voice memo thing on my phone. It's wonderful.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I know I've kept you for about a little bit over an hour now. Before I let you get back to your day, do you have any questions for our authors or our readers?
Um, I don't know other than would you like more ALCs? Because I have them.
Well, I know we at the Indie Author Insider do. We definitely want more EALCs for sure.
I will be in contact with you about that because I have a few coming up. So
Yes, amazing. Yeah, connect us with the author, connect us with you. We love the opportunities. We'll definitely get that question asked, and I know we'll definitely get it answered. Like I had mentioned earlier, kind of off cameras, we are very fortunate. We have not only our Discord, but our Instagram and our Facebook chat with Indie Author Insider Influencer Team. So we're always asking them questions and tagging them. They have to be sick of us at this point
I love it.
with all the
I
questions that
bet
we
they're
get in.
not if they're still around. I bet you're good.
We are very, very lucky that we have a pretty great team. I have yet to come across someone where I'm like, maybe you're not a good fit for our team because they're all just very supportive. So they're fantastic.
Oh, that's
And we love
huge.
having them. Yeah.
I love the support aspect of things here. It's good.
Yes, it's fantastic. But Sarah, thank you so much for meeting with us today. I sincerely appreciate you and for all of your
Absolutely.
advice and spilling all the tea
I
for us.
I do what I can. Thanks for having me on. This was so fun.
Of course. That's a wrap on today's chapter. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join us next time where we continue to bridge the gap between authors, readers, and all things bookish. Have a great rest of your guys' day.